Today on Hands On Photography, I'm sitting down with Canon Explorer of Light, Miss Laretta Houston. She's going to inspire you to get ready for the world of fashion photography, amongst some other things. And you're going to be fired up at the end of this show. I promise you will. I can't wait. Y'all stay tuned.
This is TWiT.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Ant Pruitt, and this is Hands On Photography here on TWiT TV. Hope y'all are doing well. I'm unbelievable as always. On this podcast, I like to sit down and share with you different tips and tricks that are going to help make you a better photographer as well as a better post processor. Because why? They go hand in hand. I don't care what anybody else tells you. Anyway, if this is your first time joining the show, welcome to you. And do me a favor, go ahead and hit subscribe in whatever podcast application you're enjoying this on, whether it's our YouTube channel, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever the heck Google uses for podcasts. Go ahead and subscribe. Leave me a rating, leave me a comment, and help push us up in the podcast ratings so more folks can discover the show and I can continue to have amazing guests on the show like whom we have today. But first, let me give you a little bit of a preamble about this forthcoming photographer guest here. All right. First, she is a Canon Explorer of Light. And then I'm just going to go straight to this website here because I have this beautiful line that's written there. Oh, it's just awesome. She has photographed clients such as Sports Illustrated Swimsuit, ABC, Dancing with the Stars, VH1, Allergan, Broadway Shoes, Spanx, Procter & Gamble, CDC. You know what? I'm just going to stop because the list keeps going on and on and on. And folks, please allow me to welcome the amazing Miss Laretta Houston. How you be, lady?
Hey, how are you? That was great.
I mean,
I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, thank you. I know you've been busy because, you know, at the time of this recording, you're coming off a busy schedule, including coming back from WPPI in this little sleepy town known as Las Vegas. You know, I'm sure it was a little boring and quiet over there for you, right?
That's a city that doesn't go to sleep. It's kind of like New York, right?
I really do appreciate you joining me today. I wanted to have you on because I've been looking through your Instagram, and no, I'm not saying I was stalking you, but some people may say it is. But no, I was looking through your Instagram and checking out some of the shots that you pose in your genre, if you will. And you have a lot of focus on the world of fashion photography and advertisement, if you will. And when I look at fashion photography, I see that as like one of the pinnacle genres of photography because it is pretty tough to get into that field because, you know, not anybody is just going to have the opportunity to take a photograph of Beyonce like you or Tyra Banks or, you know, any of these big celebrities. It takes a lot of preparation, a lot of work and you know, a lot of body of work to get to where you are. And on this show, I try to make sure that I'm speaking to the people that are just getting started and the people that are, you know, sort of intermediate and just ready to take that next step in the photographic career. So I wanted to bring you on and just talk about your journey, how you got started in photography. I know you're in LA, but I don't believe you're from LA. So tell us a little bit about yourself and, you know, how you got started. What made you pick up the camera and say, you know what, this is what I want to pursue?
So I'll give you a little background about myself. So I was born and raised in the Philippines, and my mother is Filipino from Cebu, and my father is a Southern grown cornbread man. Okay.
Yes. A man after my own heart.
I love me some cornbread. So yeah, he was in the military, Air Force. He's retired now. So we kind of lived in the Philippines back and forth. So after he before he got retired, we moved to Long Beach, California, and stayed there for a couple years, and then basically moved to Seattle and then back to Atlanta.
Okay.
So I wanted to move back to Atlanta because, I wanted to be close to my family, my grandmother and everyone. Family's it. Like, if you don't have anything, you must have family. Like, family is
no doubt,
is loyalty. Family is love, right?
No doubt.
So yeah, I just moved back there, and I actually went to school for multimedia and web design at the Art Institute of Atlanta.
Oh.
And I think they still have my picture up there on the wall, because every blue moon I might get a tweet and say, "Ooh, guess who I saw in the hallway?" Yeah, it's not a picture I particularly like, but hey, it works.
It's still branding for you.
Right. And it's funny because I did not go to school for photography, but they put me in the photography alumni. So it's real funny because it's like I didn't go to school for that there. But anyway, I joined. Okay, so after I graduated, I started working for a couple companies and got laid off a couple of times. Just the fact that we were in right before the .com crash. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, yeah. And trust me, everybody here on the TWiT network, this is a loyal group of technologists and tech enthusiasts. Yeah, we all know about the .com mess.
Right. So it was, I had and I only had a couple of jobs, but every time it was never long lasting. I would be there for about maybe 8 months, 6 months. So I finally found a job working. Right before I found that job, I said, "Okay, Laretta, you're going to open up a gift basket company. You're going to make some type of money. I have a little inner hustler in me."
Some people call that entrepreneurship. But go on.
Okay. And I decided to go ahead and make a website and start selling gift baskets. So Yahoo was one of my clients.
What?
Yeah, that was great. Eventually, I found another job in multimedia and web designer, and the job was a web designer. So I eventually shut down the website and decided to go full time in the job position. Focus on it. And I was there for about a couple of years, and then they did some restructuring, and so they pretty much laid me off.
Yeah.
So, but right before they laid me off, I started getting into the hobby of picking up a little point and shoot camera. And during lunchtime, I would go with another coworker of mine and we just shoot pictures all, every time we had time, lunch, break, whatever. So that's kind of how I got started. And so I started shooting landscape, believe it or not. I think I'm pretty good at it. I think so. Not as good as
landscape is a nice and easy barrier to entry too. So yeah, that makes sense.
And then I started shooting rusted items like cars that were broken down and rusted and old, or objects. And it really was thrilling to see the beauty of just a simple, item, or a simple faucet that's rusted, leaking water. It was very interesting to me.
Right.
And then I happened to stumble on some kids in the park, and I was like, "Oh, let me go ahead and shoot them." And then that's how it all got started. So I started shooting people. Yeah.
You just started to feel this bit of energy coming from capturing people on the film, right?
Right. So yeah, I just started actually taking pictures of my daughter. She doesn't care for photography anymore because I think I ruined that.
Oh. It happens to all of us parents. Yes, my kids have sort of done the same thing with me, except for my 10th grader. He's turning into a bit of a fashion person himself. So,
nice.
So he's digging it every time I pull out the lights and stuff like that. So yeah, there's still hope.
Yeah, well, for her, there is no hope.
Oh.
She's getting her master's and she's trying to be a family counseling therapist. So,
nice.
pretty exciting. Totally, opposite of what I do. I think she purposely did that. But yeah, she's, after shooting her for quite a while, I decided to go ahead and reach out to some modeling agencies to see if I could start shooting, real models at that time. So for about a good year, I only shot men. Mm-hmm. And I did that for a reason, because I didn't want to focus on makeup and the hair and wardrobe. I just really want to focus on shooting with light and, really practicing that, you know what I'm saying? So without the other worries. Mm-hmm. And then eventually I just started shooting women. And after shooting that for a couple of years, I got signed 3 years in.
Nice.
Into photography.
Nice.
Which was something I didn't really expect whatsoever. And yeah, that started the roller coaster in my career.
I love it. Now, fashion photography, you said something there was a couple of things. You went to school that wasn't for photography. You're more so the graphic side of things. So
right.
That is big, in my opinion. Previously on Hands on Photography, we chatted with my friend, Mr. Dave Clayton. He's a graphic designer in the UK. And I wanted to pick his brain because I believe the design aesthetic can help photographers with their shots and get their shots placed more frequently if they understand what goes into graphic design, whether it's color theory and just the use of negative space and things of that nature. All of that stuff makes sense, even down to how you crop it, So that I totally dig it, because after seeing your work, it seems like the two and two definitely coincides with your background of being in graphic design school and then jumping into photography. Do you agree?
I agree. I mean, just like you said, color theory, negative space, cropping, all of that. That was even marketing. Mm-hmm. That was all taught during school. And so I applied all that, what I've known, that knowledge into being a photographer. And it's did well.
Nice.
It did well. So I actually very grateful that I actually went to school for that.
Now, the second thing you said, you started out just shooting men before shooting females. And I sort of laughed to myself, because I know when I've done shots for people wanting to do headshots and things like that to get their resumes updated each year, I always put it in my contract. I am not a makeup artist. I am not a hairstylist.
Did you?
Oh, yeah, I did. Because I'm not going to be responsible for that. So I'm not going to have that as part of my billable time. So you need to make sure you're squared away, because I'm there to set up my lights and put you on the screen, make you look good. That's it. But I'm not going to do your hair, not going to do your makeup, because I want no part of it. Is that pretty common? Is that something that you find to be pretty common with people getting started? Is let's just start shooting men only, or let's just have them hire their own makeup artists and things like that. How does that equate with you? What made you say, okay, I can transition off from shooting just men and start shooting more women? Did you have a team of stylists and things like that, or how heavily involved were you?
I think that was also another reason I started off with men, because I did not have a team.
Okay.
I bought my first camera, and that was a Canon camera. Mm-hmm. And then also I bought my first light, and that was like straight up Alien B.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have a team.
Right.
I didn't know what teams were. I just was like, oh, we'll just shoot them normal and that's it. But then eventually when I started posting more pictures online, and back there, we had MySpace.
Yes.
Top 10. yeah, I started posting it there, and that's when people were hitting me up. And then also I joined Flickr.
Yeah.
And that helped me a lot in the beginning of my career because I was in touch with very professional photographers, right? They knew everything, lighting, where to get models from, any information on cameras and lighting. It was open and people were willing to help. So that was amazing community for me to, be in.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And then after shooting for, a year or so with men, I was just like, okay, Laretta, it's time for you to have a makeup artist. So I started off with just a makeup artist, and that worked well. And then eventually hired somebody to do hair. And then eventually had wardrobe stylists. So yeah, I think within like 2 years in, I started to have a team. But at the beginning, I didn't even have any inkling of this is how it works. Like, are we supposed to have a team? I was just so focused on making sure the shop was great.
Nice. Now, I want to take a look at a couple of your images because you shared some with me and they're just ridiculously good. But I mean, what do I expect? You're not going to send me garbage shots, But I want to walk through. I have I think it's like 3 images here, and they're all different in their own way. And I'm hoping that you can talk me through just the set, not necessarily the setup, but just more of the mindset. Because again, our listeners, it's not necessarily about the technicalities of it right now. It's more about the fundamentals, so if you can walk us through just setting up this particular shot here and there, and I'm sure everybody will appreciate that. Does that sound okay?
Yeah. Do you want a little backstory too?
Sure. Now this shot here. All right. So I can always take a guess at what I see as far as the actual setup of the set here and what you're doing. I see, I'm assuming this may be a gray background with a gel, or that may be the actual color of the background. I see one big light source, camera right up at about maybe 60 degrees, camera right onto the model, which is casting some beautiful shadows. They're not hard shadows, so there's some sort of light modifier on this, and just beautifully done. But that's what I see. Tell us what you see with this model and what your thought process was.
So basically, I actually shot this on a white cyc wall.
All right.
And moving her forward, of course, the background turns gray the more further you're out. So that's kind of what happened. And then you're right. I had a big modifier on the right, a big octobox, actually. And then I have 2 on each side, one on each side strip box with a grid.
Okay. To give a bit of a rim.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so, yeah, that was just it. I mean, just simple lighting. If anybody works with me on most of my sets, it's usually really simple lighting. Except for campaigns. Like I think the most I've used is 18 lights on the set.
Okay.
But this one was really simple. I truly enjoyed this one. This is my first time actually working with this new stylist. And we wanted a metallic and kind of silver concept, right? So I just really, and this model is really good. She's from New York as well as Atlanta. And we just had fun. I wanted something very editorial. I wanted, the light to kind of hit her hair a bit, but still give her that editorial look, that mood, like when you scroll, you're looking at it, wondering how she posed and what she was thinking during that moment, right? So, yeah, this is one of my favorites, actually.
So, okay, so let me pull back a little bit. All right, you have the key and you have the 2 rim lights there. Would you have been fine going without the 2 strip box lights for rim lighting and just shot with the 1 single key?
I don't think so. Okay. Just for the fact that I wanted the dress to light up a little bit more. So no, and most of my shoots actually do have strip boxes. I'm a fan of strip boxes. So I say about 75% of all my shots are done with strip boxes on each side.
Love it. And that's more so just to make sure they're popping away from the background a good bit, right?
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. Separation and just to give it a little pop.
Okay. No, I get that. And again, I love this shot because of, again, it's the mood. You said metallic and I could see that perfectly now. It metallic and shining, if you will, sort of bright. Now, contrasting, let's move on to this next shot here. So, okay, this shot, not quite as bright and well, it is metallic-ish, but nowhere near the way this first image was. This is a tough one. I think I see another large key light camera, right? I'm assuming I see that, but it's a little hard to tell because it's almost like a low key because it's such a dark background and everything just sort of fades away into the shadows. It's almost as if your model is hiding inside of a little bit of brush there with a splash of yellow in the size of a purse in her hands. This is just, again, it screams fashion, but it also screams a little bit of art and attitude, not just something that's totally straightforward editorial, cut and dry, but this also screams art as well. Can you walk us through this image?
Okay, so this was like a last minute shoot. I was in Miami.
Really? Last minute and it comes out like this?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And I didn't have a stylist that day. I had makeup and hair, but I didn't have a stylist. So I had actually pulled everything like an hour before the shoot in Miami. Just went to the stores and just started pulling. Wow. And this is what I came up with. So I learned a lot of my styling techniques from a lot of the New York stylists I used to work with when I used to travel back and forth to New York. So I've applied it here in a lot of my other shoots. Mm-hmm. But this one was actually done in just pure sunlight.
No light.
No artificial lights whatsoever.
Hey, I'm totally fine with that. I've always said that there's nothing better than some diffused sunlight if you can get it. Get the sun shooting through a window or something like that. But did you have a scrim or anything?
No.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
Basically, I told her to it was like a bunch of like huge trees. Mm-hmm. So I kind of like squeezed her in there. I know she looked at me real crazy, but girl, it's going to be a hot shot. Just trust me. So I pushed her back not pushed her back, but sure. Into the trees, and we actually just used a reflector to reflect some of the lights under her chin and all that good stuff. And that's it. This is what happened. I just wanted a stream of lighting, a stream of sun, on certain places. So I had to move her maybe a little bit to the left, a couple inches, maybe move her back a little bit just to make sure the sun actually hit her face.
Yeah. Oh.
This is actually one of my favorite shots too.
Oh, love it. So dadgum good, even though you pushed her into the trees. We're not going to tell anybody.
Let's stop.
It's all good. All right. So now there's one more shot here that really piqued my interest. So let's pull this one up here. And it's this one here. Oh, just classical. Classical. I love the pose. I love the contrast in this. You have some extreme black levels in this. You have the extreme white levels in this, and everything in between with the little bit of a sparkle from the earrings and that color just breaking everything up. I love this pose and just this shot in general. Highly, highly technical. I don't want to get too technical with it because it is. Okay, so I'm looking at it. This is a black woman, again, with a large light source hitting her directly on her face. We have a white background. She's in a black hat, and everything just blends in beautifully and perfectly. And I know from my experience shooting Black folks with large light boxes, if I'm not careful, the light hitting their skin turns into these harsh highlights if I'm not careful with my light modifiers. And I'm presuming this is the case with you, taking care of the light modifier and making sure that it's beautiful fall off on her skin and not just coming off as this big old hot spot on her face. This is just beautiful. You care to walk us through this?
The same. It's the same lighting as the first one. 2 strip boxes, a modifier up, maybe about a 45-degree angle, and lights in the background to make sure that we have like a pure white background. That was it.
Oh, beautiful.
It's not even, I think sometimes people really overthink the lighting, especially if it's a beauty shot or, if it's a dark skin tone model. They overthink the lighting, and the simple lighting actually really works. And you don't need much lighting either, honestly.
Right.
To, bring out the rich tones. To me, she looks chocolate.
Yes. Yes.
She looks yummy.
Yes. Yes. Now, okay. So simple is a word that you just used.
Exactly.
What is your tactic far as having this light just come off so soft on her skin, or do you ever experience those harsh highlights on your models?
I mean, every now and then, but I usually correct them on set. So I actually tether in most of my shoots.
Okay.
So I can actually see what it looks like coming in. Because, you can't really see so much of the details in a camera, right?
Right.
The viewfinder is just really small.
Right.
So I tether all my images and, kind of like look at it, see where the highlights are hitting. If it's too bright, too dark. For me, I just wanted her skin to be smooth and soft, not so harsh. So that's why I had it like an octabox on her, more of like a small one a little bit. I think I forget what size it is, but it's none of the large octaboxes.
Maybe like a 22, 24.
Yeah, yeah. And just this is what I came up with. I wanted it to be rich, so therefore not just her skin, but even the clothing she has on. As you can see, they're name brand clothing from high-end designers. So I just wanted it to be something that I can market to say, hey, this is beauty. This is how a dark skin model can be shot. And she's great to even pose in a nice high fashion shoot.
Yes, clearly. So, all right, with these ridiculously beautiful images that you shared, I know folks listening to the show are going to say, hey, Ant, well, how in the world can I get opportunities to shoot with Sports Illustrated or Dancing with the Stars? And, what am I going to do? How can I jump right in and start doing that? Is that even possible? I'm going to answer for you for a second. I'm going to say, no, it's not possible right now, but maybe down the road. But if someone is trying to, just cut their teeth with fashion photography, what are your tips that you would tell an absolute beginner or intermediate photographer that's wanting to just cut their teeth with fashion photography? What are your favorite go-to tips?
I think a great photographer shoots in studio and knows lighting outside, knows the sun. I was actually found on Instagram with a lot of my jobs, honestly.
Nice.
And also a lot of the work that I actually get have been word of mouth. So, yeah, I just feel like if you promote yourself and just really focus on great work, people will seek you out. Companies will seek you out. And it depends on who you know. In this industry, especially in LA, it's who you know, which will get you a lot of the jobs. So I'm fortunate to have great relationships with creative directors and art directors. So someone who is at the beginning stage of this career and trying to get those publications or those campaigns, they really do need to network. I think that's the biggest thing that you need to do, is to network with other creative professionals, especially ones that you like. Just say you want to shoot for Target one day, right? You need to shoot on brand. And when I say on brand, I mean their type of lighting, their mood. You have to shoot exactly kind of like what they do, but with your spin as a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
So basically do something similar, but make them look at the shot and say, oh, we never thought about that, or we never ever thought about this concept. This would be great for Target. And that's how they pick you. If you can put a spin on something they have already created and they already branded, you have one up on it, right? Also, social media is also great. I mean, Tyra picked me out of Instagram. And this is a lady that I used to watch.
When that happened, hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you picked you out of Instagram. What? You just got a DM or this? How did that go down?
Okay, so as Tyra was explaining to me, she was like, yeah, I've stalked you for months. So she was looking for a female Black photographer. And of course, it's because, there's a Black female photographer. There's never one that actually shot for the magazine. So I was actually the first Black photographer to shoot the cover, first Black female to shoot the cover, and just overall the magazine itself. So it was really exciting to have Tyra hit me up. Man. So basically, I did not know there was stalking. I actually put out on my Instagram that I was coming to Atlanta. If anybody want to shoot, let me know.
Yeah.
So I guess when they saw that, it was a conflict with the date they actually wanted me to be in Bahamas. So I got this email.
This is just awesome. Just awesome.
I got this email, and I was in Cabos at the time. I was at the airport, and I got this email, and it says, hey, Laretta, we would like to talk to you about working with us. And I'm like, working with you? Like, who are you? I didn't even see a signature in the email. So I was like, this gotta be spam. Like, who am I supposed to give money to now?
Yeah.
And then I said, oh, give me a call. And they gave me a call and say, hey, we're Sports Illustrated Swimsuit, and we would like to discuss with you working with us in the Bahamas. And I still was shocked. I was like, is this a scam?
Right.
Like, I literally was right. I was like, there's no way they would call me, little old me, to shoot Sports Illustrated, right? So they actually had the creator director, MJ, actually hit me up and say, hey, Laretta, this is my email. This is my phone number, and wow. Yeah, that basically set the bar, like not set the bar, but basically said, hey, Laretta, we're not a scam. This is actually Sports Illustrated. Now, I do remember like 10 years ago with my first agent, he was like, yeah, Laretta, we want you to be the first Black female photographer to shoot for Sports Illustrated, because they've never had a woman and they never had anybody Black, right? So I was like, okay. But I looked at him and I said, are you crazy? That's never gonna I literally told him that. I said, how is that possible?
Oh, no, come on.
10 years in, I'm like, I get that, email, that phone call and says, hey, Laretta, we're ready for you. So manifesting your dreams, it's possible.
Yes. Yes.
I just didn't think it would be possible for me at this point in my career, right? But at the very end, Tyra put on the polka dotted bathing suit that she had on her first Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover. And that's when, when she was changing, I turned around and had tears in my eyes. And I looked at the producer and I was just like, tell me something funny, please, quickly, fast, because my tears are coming. Mm-hmm. And, she was trying to make a joke. It didn't work. And I turned around because MJ asked me a question, or she was trying to tell me what next to shoot. And when I turned around, she saw my eyes and she was like, are you crying? And then that's when Tyra and everybody looked at me. She was like, oh my gosh, let me give you a hug. So we all had like a big hug, and then I continued shooting. And then at the end, she surprised me and she said, "Okay, Laretta, I want to tell you, I'm the one who found you. I found you on Instagram." And she explained that I was the first for the magazine. And basically, I deserve to be on Vogue. I deserve to be on Marie Claire and all the other, great magazines, fashion magazines. So,
tell it.
Yeah. And I was just so amazed. It was just like a dream that you never thought would happen. And a woman that you never thought you would ever meet. And so, yeah. And then now we just talk. Every blue moon she'll call me or DM me. And I love her. I loved her because not only because who she is, it's Tyra, right? But I love her because she used her platform to uplift or bring another photographer, right?
That's right.
And one who's
elevate.
Black and one who is a female. Because honestly, we don't get a lot of recognition. We're not even like 2% of the industry.
Say that one more time. Really Say that one more time. I don't think they heard you. Say it again.
It's just we're not recognized as photographers, as female Black photographers. We're not really recognized. And even as Black photographers, we deserve all those large gigs. We can do it too.
That's right. That's
what
right.
I'm saying? And we don't really get a lot of those big jobs. I think we only get like 2% as for, Black female photographers, 2%. Well, honestly, we have a couple of photographers that came on the scene in the last year or so. But honestly, did we really see anyone up there that's really doing great work? And that's who is a Black or, a Black female photographer? Do you?
Right.
Do you know?
Yeah, it's few and far between. But we know they're out there. We know they're out there. But
there's a lot of them that are great, but they're not being recognized.
Yeah, just gotta elevate them. And fortunately, we have Miss Tyra Banks doing what she did, and now also giving you an opportunity to help elevate other people. So it's
exactly.
Boy, this is.
So I think that gave me. Not only, I've always focused on trying to get to the next level, but even more now, it motivates me because I want to help other Black photographers or Black female photographers or just females in general, female photographers as well, to, open the doors for them so that they can actually go in that door too as well. Right. Right.
Oh, this. Man, I'm just beside myself and just blown away and just in awe. This is just an amazing story and inspirational beyond belief. This is what this show is all about. Just being able to have people like you, great photographers like you, that says, you know what, put in the work, just keep doing the work, keep doing the work, keep doing the work. And it's going to manifest. You're going to get your opportunity. You're going to get there. So
it's about timing.
Yes. Unbelievable.
Like even if there's something that you want right now and it doesn't work out, maybe they chose another photographer, does not mean that it won't circle back around. Right. 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 It's not over. You always have to have that hope, like, hey, it may not be for me now, but it's coming. It's coming, circle back around.
Absolutely love this, man. I'm slowly calming myself down to do a proper outro of our show here. But before we get out of here, I want to give this opportunity to you to share where people can find some of the things that you're working on, any upcoming projects or campaigns that you've done recently, or your social media, anything that you'd like to plug. The floor is yours, ma'am.
So I just recently shot for Goodwill. So a couple of those shots will be up on billboards. I have a couple of things that's coming up in September, a couple gigs, but I can't share them. Oh. NDA.
Yeah. We know all about those.
But I'm excited about it because it's something I can't wait for for it to be finalized, and then I can actually share it. But until then, I have to get a zip on it.
I respect that. And understand that totally. Now on Instagram, what's your handle on Instagram where we can see some more of your images for social?
So my Instagram is Laretta Houston, and that's LA, not LO. So it's Laretta Houston, like Houston, Texas. You can find me there. I don't quite have a YouTube channel, so you can't find me there. So usually it's just that. The same is for Twitter, Laretta Houston, as in Houston, Texas.
Got it. And our awesome editor, Mr. Victor, will have beautiful lower thirds and stuff like that to show you off. And we'll put all of this stuff in our show notes too. This is just a wealth of information, and we can see your website and see some of the stuff that you've done, and just continue to be inspired. And the biggest thing is continue to help lift the other photographers up. So Miss Laretta, thank you so much for this inspirational talk, and thanks for coming on Hands on Photography. This really does mean a lot to me.
Yeah, for me too. This is actually my second podcast ever.
What?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I've been doing the first and second all this year, last year.
Oh no. Okay. Well, see, since this is only your second time, I'm just going to ask you right here on air. Can I have you back on the show sometime in the future to chit chat?
Of course.
Oh, okay.
I enjoy you. This
Perfect. Conversation
is great. It makes me appreciate where I came from. And yeah, I mean, I love your vibe.
Thank you. Oh man, I'm blushing now. I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you again, Miss Laretta. I really do appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. That, man, do y'all feel that? Good grief. Wow. I'm not even sure what else to say here other than you know how to get to our website, twit.tv/hop. That's twit.tv/HOP for Hands on Photography. Check out all of the subscription options there. Share the show with other folks. Share this episode. Help inspire other photographers that are trying to get started in this community or just take it up another level in their skill set. Just keep doing the work, y'all. Keep grabbing that camera and shooting and putting in the work. If I haven't said it enough, she just said it and really emphasized it. This was such a great show. If y'all have any questions, comment, feedback, or if you'd like to do some image critiques, feel free to shoot me an email. That's hop@twit.tv. I answer all of my emails at some point because I get quite a few of them, but I do answer them all. So send them over to hop@twit.tv. Or if you want to give me a follow and tag me on the social medias, I am Ant_Pruitt on Twitter. And I'm also Ant_Pruitt on Instagram. Thank you all for the continued support. Thank you to my man, Mr. Victor, helping me look and sound good. Man, I appreciate you, brother. You work really hard on this show. But until next time, folks, y'all take care. Safely create and dominate. And we'll see you next time.
No ads, just the content. That's what you get when you join Club Twit. You even get extras like Twit Plus, our new bonus feed just for members, and exclusive access to the Club Twit Discord community. Join now for just $7 a month and support Twit as we continue to create top-notch podcasts you expect and deserve. We're just getting started, so be one of the first to join as we build Club Twit from the ground up. You could be an early member. Go to twit.tv/clubtwit to learn more and sign up now. Thanks.